A new wave of cyberattacks is sweeping through Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Russia, driven by a previously unknown hacking group. This shift highlights the evolving threat landscape and the persistent risks organizations face from sophisticated malware. Since April 2025, the group, known as ComicForm, has launched a targeted phishing campaign aimed at various sectors, including finance and biotechnology. Cybersecurity firm F6 reported on September 22, 2025, that these attacks often employ deceptive emails with subject lines designed to entice recipients into opening malicious attachments. Next, we'll explore the specifics of ComicForm's tactics and the implications for cybersecurity in the region. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. The timeline of attacks attributed to ComicForm and SectorJ149 illustrates a significant evolution in cyber tactics and targets across Eurasia. Since its emergence in April 2025, ComicForm has been relentless in its phishing efforts, employing deceptive email strategies to infiltrate various sectors, including critical industries such as finance and biotechnology. The sophisticated nature of these attacks is underscored by the malware deployment process, which utilizes a multi-stage approach to evade detection, including the creation of scheduled tasks and exclusions from Microsoft Defender. In June 2025, the group intensified its operations with targeted phishing campaigns against a company in Kazakhstan, indicating a strategic focus on regional economic hubs. This was further compounded by their attack on a Belarusian bank just 2 months earlier, showcasing their ability to adapt and shift targets rapidly. The use of Russian and English in their communications suggests an intention to expand their reach beyond local borders, potentially threatening organizations in other countries. Meanwhile, the SectorJ149 group has been active since late 2024, focusing its efforts on South Korea's manufacturing and energy sectors. Their tactics reveal a shift from purely financial motivations to a more hacktivist agenda, aiming to leverage cyberattacks as a means of political expression. The group's utilization of spear phishing emails, particularly targeting executives, reflects a calculated approach to gain access to sensitive information and disrupt operations. Both ComicForm and SectorJ149 illustrate the increasing complexity of cyber threats, where attackers are not only interested in financial gain but also in delivering ideological messages. As these groups continue to evolve, the potential for widespread disruption across various industries remains a pressing concern for cybersecurity professionals worldwide. The rise of ComicForm's cyberattacks has significant implications for various industries across Eurasia. The targeted sectors, including finance, biotechnology, and tourism, are vital components of the regional economy, and their disruption could lead to widespread economic instability. For instance, the financial sector is particularly vulnerable, as successful credential theft can compromise banking operations and customer trust, potentially resulting in financial losses and regulatory penalties. In the biotechnology industry, the theft of sensitive research data can hinder innovation and collaboration. Companies in this sector rely heavily on intellectual property, and breaches can lead to competitive disadvantages, loss of funding, and reputational damage. The tourism sector, already reeling from the impacts of the pandemic, faces additional challenges as cyberattacks can disrupt booking systems and customer service operations, deterring potential travelers. Moreover, the manufacturing sector, which has been targeted by both ComicForm and SectorJ149, is essential for the region's supply chains. Disruptions to manufacturing processes can lead to delays in production and delivery, impacting not just local markets but also international supply chains. This interconnectedness means that the repercussions of these cyberattacks extend beyond national borders, affecting global trade dynamics. The use of sophisticated phishing techniques, such as emails disguised as legitimate documents, highlights the need for enhanced cybersecurity measures across all sectors. Organizations must invest in employee training to recognize phishing attempts and implement robust security protocols to safeguard sensitive information. The complexity of these attacks underscores the urgency for industries to adopt a proactive approach to cybersecurity, as the cost of inaction could be far greater than the investment in preventive measures. Furthermore, the attacker's ability to craft messages in both Russian and English indicates a strategic intent to widen their target base, potentially affecting multinational companies operating in the region. This shift necessitates a reassessment of cybersecurity strategies not only at the organizational level but also at the national level, as governments must collaborate with private sectors to strengthen defenses against evolving cyber threats. As the landscape of cyber threats continues to evolve, industries in Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Russia must remain vigilant. The impact of these attacks could reshape operational practices and necessitate a re-evaluation of security protocols, ultimately defining the future resilience of these sectors in the face of ongoing digital threats. As organizations in Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Russia grapple with the rising threat of cyberattacks, immediate and strategic actions are crucial. First and foremost, companies should prioritize the enhancement of their cybersecurity awareness programs. Employees must be educated on recognizing phishing attempts, especially those that use familiar themes like invoices or document requests. This training should include practical exercises that simulate real-world scenarios to reinforce learning. Next, organizations should conduct a thorough audit of their email security protocols. Implementing advanced filtering systems can help identify and block malicious emails before they reach the inbox. Multi-factor authentication (MFA) should be enforced across all accounts to add an extra layer of security, making it more difficult for attackers to gain unauthorized access. In addition, companies should review their incident response plans to ensure they are prepared for potential breaches. This includes establishing clear communication channels and protocols for reporting suspicious activities. Regularly scheduled drills can help teams practice their responses, ensuring they can act swiftly and effectively if an attack occurs. Furthermore, organizations must consider investing in endpoint detection and response (EDR) solutions that can detect and mitigate threats in real time. These technologies can help identify unusual behaviors indicative of malware infiltration, such as the execution of unknown processes or the creation of scheduled tasks, which are common tactics used by groups like ComicForm. Finally, collaboration with cybersecurity firms and industry peers is essential. Sharing intelligence about threats and vulnerabilities can create a more robust defense against emerging cyber threats. By participating in information sharing initiatives, organizations can stay updated on the latest tactics used by attackers and adapt their defenses accordingly. In summary, as the cyber threat landscape evolves, organizations must take proactive measures to fortify their defenses, educate their workforce, and remain vigilant against potential attacks. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals.